Hey everybody, welcome back to Chris Anderson Comics. I'm here with my good friend Ryan Browne. Ryan, how you doing, man?
Doing good, dude.
Are those battle beasts behind you?
Yeah, most of them. There we go. These guys are called Transmegator, which are
Ooh.
which are really funny. They're a Battle Beast knockoff that you would get in these little quarter machines, but they have these really tiny arms. They're like
Oh.
bow-legged and they have tiny arms, and they all have the same body. These ridiculous arms that can't do anything.
Oh my god, I love
But they all have
knockoffs.
different animal heads, and they all have these like really funny names.
But
Um,
no color changing thing on their chest?
no, 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 nothing like that. But they're horrible, and I love them. Look at this! Look at this elephant guy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he's quite a warrior.
What the hell?
Yeah,
That is crazy.
yeah, and even those are expensive now. The Battle Beast market
Oh,
got really. They're my favorite toy, but these are Beast Saga, which was like a 2012 Japanese toy follow up. And then these are Battle Beasts that go all the way up off the screen. These guys are some of my favorites. Let's see, what's a good one?
we're off to a weird start here. I love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, these guys. These are Japanese guys. They're called Gachimuri Tori,
What
and
is that, like a chick?
it basically stands for beefcake bird, and
Oh, hell yeah.
they're these like real robust warriors that have bird heads, like wrestlers almost. But yeah, this guy's eating some ramen with an egg on it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but those are awesome, and there's 6 series of those, and they came out when I was in Japan, the first series, and I was just like, oh my gosh, what are these? And I just stayed at the gachapon machine, just putting money in over and over and over again, trying to get a complete set, and it's like, man, this is my dream. Just
Oh yeah.
these chunky, muscly birds ready to fight.
I could totally see some God Hates Astronauts weird like toys like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, my big undeveloped comic that maybe one day I'll make is basically a Battle Beast story. It's somewhere between Battle Beast and GI Joe, but it's like a kind of subversive send up of corporate America and commercialism, and I mean, I could go into it for a while, but
You heard it here
yeah, I
first.
might make it. It is my magnum opus that I've never spent any time on other than just thinking about.
Yeah. We've all got 1 or 2 or 6 of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Before we get into Lucky Devil, here I'll show you these. These are some knockoff.
Oh yeah, dude. I have. I don't.
Master Universe.
Do I have any of those up? Yeah, I have a few of those that
they're so fun. I can't remember who makes these, but
I think, is it for the love of old toys or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think they're from the UK. Even it's got that fleck on him, like Mossman did.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, love it.
There's so many dudes who are making cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
This one I just got. It's a My Pet Monster.
Yes.
That they sculpted and cast like it's a My Pet Monster, and it's even articulated, like Battle Beast. It's like people just making toys. There's no way they're making any money on them.
Oh
they're
no,
just,
hell no.
Like they just can't help it. They just want to make toys.
I mean, awesome. I kind of get it.
Yeah, totally, dude. Totally.
Let's talk a little bit about Lucky Devils. So wait, let's back it up. So you and Charles Soule started kind of working together on was it Curse Words, the first project that you guys did together?
We did a couple short projects for DC and Marvel together, but
okay.
a couple page little shorts and stuff. But yeah, Curse Words was our first fully fleshed out collaboration.
Yeah. How many issues did that go? I got the big sucker over here. It's
29. It was 29 issues. with 3 of them being fill-ins, 2 of which were drawn by Mike Norton and 1 that was drawn by Joe Quinones. But yeah, it ran for almost 4 years.
Wow.
I think that to pull that off,
Yeah.
I was drawing it and then also, like designing it. And I was doing a lot on the colors,
Right.
as well. So, and then doing covers for every issue. It was crazy. It's really weird to like look at it and see how my lines get thicker and quicker and my backgrounds drop out faster and faster. My backgrounds are like 1 or 2 like lines to show here's where a wall meets another wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Here's the edge of a door. There you go.
You're just like, I need time to form with my family. This page needs to be done.
Yeah. Most of the pages in curse words, once you get past like issue 12 or 13, I was doing a page in 4 to 6 hours was usually my goal. And so other than when there would be like a splash with like a big army or something, like when it was just like wizards having conversations, like I would just move. And it's interesting to look at it now because I'm like, frequently there's all these weird mess ups where like one of the eyes is slightly higher than the other, or slightly faces are slightly too wide or slightly too narrow, or heads are a little bit big. And it just was like, it's one of those things where I kind of realized that my comics in general are about at 80% of what I could do in terms of quality.
Sure.
And then I, because of the rate that you have to make them.
Yes.
But with curse words, some of those issues, 50%, like maybe not even in terms of the quality I was putting in there. Like, I don't have the time,
Yeah, no, it's not out of, I know it's not out of a lack of love or care for it. It's out of the fact that you will die if you keep going at the pace that you're going.
Yeah, you will. And your books sell less and less. So you're making less and less money on every issue that you make. And so
and 29 in, that's pretty deep.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to do 75 because we were dumb and we didn't know any better. I mean, and then we ran it too long because it really, especially the final arc, like, it was not paying for itself in any way.
Right.
It was, we were paying our colorist and our letterer, and then, paying ourselves out of our company, and we were just every month just losing money making this comic,
and then after that, you guys went over to do 8 Billion Genies, which was like a runaway success from at least from an outside, looking in kind of point of view. It seemed like you guys really crushed it with that one.
That was like a big life-changing, career-changing, life-changing thing. I think we did 8 different printings of issue 1. Through all those printings, it finally got over 100,000 copies sold of issue 1, which is a place that I never thought I would get. That was really amazing. And it was a book that, unlike curse words, our numbers were going up on every issue. And so we just that's more of an 80% in terms of quality for me, because I was taking the time, and like issue 7 was 32 story pages. Like, it was still the same cover price, but like it was doing so well and being so well received that we were just like, we're gonna make it in our own time and do what it is. And we've taken that mantra on with the Lucky Devils, which really stresses me out from like a deadline oriented person.
Sure.
But you kind of see it afterwards, where it's like when people buy that 8 Billion Genies hardcover from me, or people tell me about reading the collected edition, like no one says, boy, do you remember how issue 7 was a month late? Like, no. They're just like, oh, this is a fun book that I like to read. So,
Exactly.
So I'm doing that with Lucky Devils as well. It's we go over on page count all the time, and with 8 Billion Genies, I started coloring the whole thing myself.
Sure.
Which I have a good childhood friend who is an illustrator and designer, and I basically taught him on 8 Billion Genies to be like a coloring assistant. And now, like, I couldn't have colored that book without him, because he does, 50 to 75% of the colors are him, and then I adjust what he does, and then I do all the painting, all the rendering is me.
Okay.
But like, I can color pages in an hour to 3 hours, depending on what they are. Before that, it would take me like 4 hours. So
Right. Yeah.
it's the only reason why I can do this. But it also makes the book take a lot longer. But I got too fed up with colorists that couldn't hit deadlines, and then couldn't follow directions as like I wanted. I was just too OCD about it, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, getting bad coloring back is the worst.
Yeah.
I remember you sent me some of those early Genie pages, and you were saying, I'm trying something different, I'm switching it up, I'm using a nib for this. Did that last the whole time? Did you do that the whole time?
Yeah, I did. All of the stuff that takes place in the bar is inked with a nib. Like, on purpose, to give it a different feel from the genies who are not drawn with a nib, who are more, perfectly edged and more cartoony. And then the stuff that is made with genie magic, I would draw with the brush pen and like microns and stuff like I normally do. So like but like the nib stuff was much faster, and it was fun. It was fun to work on it. And I actually, like, when I was figuring out what the Lucky Devils was going to be, I started with the nib on. I drew a page, I scanned it in, I printed out blue line, and then I tried a couple different inking styles to see if I wanted to keep going with that nib thing. And I just, it had its deficiencies for me that I couldn't really figure out. So I drew the Lucky Devils entirely like I would, feel with the tools that I feel the most comfortable with, which is like a brush pen and microns and zebra pens and stuff. So
I'm the same way. I've been, ever since I started drawing, I've been wishing and hoping for pens to come out that you didn't have to dip. And now we finally have them. It's like your wish is granted. I guess that was my Genie wish.
Yeah, and I was on Genies. I was really OCD with like using good ink.
Mm-hmm.
So I would use like an ink syringe to fill the little cartridges of the Kuretake brushes and stuff.
Yeah,
and that ink would just gum them up, so they wouldn't last that long. And so on Lucky Devils, like I just let the inks be a little bit gray. It's fine. Like, so like when you look at the original art, it's a little washed out because, I erase over it and pick up some of the ink. But like I don't know. I just kind of gave up on that. Like the ease of drawing is what I want. So
exactly. You can't worry about making this pristine pre-production artwork. It's not going to serve you well. I also remember when you sent me out of the blue, I just got a text from you with this Frank Miller cover on it, and I was like, this is fucking gorgeous. Everybody's ragging on all of his stuff that's coming out right now, and I love them. I thought they were so weird and beautiful.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, and you got one too, and it was awesome. I wish I had it. Maybe I can pop it up in the video or something, but I loved it so much.
Yeah, it was really, really wild. And what the weird thing was Frank's cover, like, I'm almost certain he didn't read the book. And so his cover...
You know how it goes.
Yes, his cover was just his version of my original cover for the book. And then when he, like, the composition was similar, but it was drawn like Frank Miller, and I
Yeah.
was like, well, now I can't use my cover because it looks too similar, and like Alex Sinclair used the same palette that I had used online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I had to throw that cover away, and I'm glad I did because I like the. And then I went with the white background and the kind of reference to 8 Billion Genies style design.
Yeah.
I think it was always like we weren't gonna make a 8 Billion Genies sequel right away. We wanted to do something different, but we wanted our fans to know it was us and to follow us. So
Yeah. Because this sort of like, in a way, the best way I can put it is it sort of rhymes with 8 Billion Genies because it is these little, magical creatures that are involved in people's lives. But that's about where it stops, It's great. And we'll get into your color palette later, but the story basically starts out with this Cameron character. He is works at a community college, teaching kids, and he's not very happy with his life. And then you're introduced to this character, Star. She's a nurse, and stuff keeps happening to her too, where she can't really get ahead, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're using color like to tell the story so well in so many of these places.
It's such a part of it, and that was always the problem that I had with using other colorists, because they wouldn't necessarily have the same intentions that I mean, they have nice palettes and decent rendering or whatever, but they wouldn't necessarily have the same storytelling intentions that I would have. And since I was the person that was drawing it, and I tend to draw for color, so like it was like my work was half finished, and then I was letting someone else finish it that didn't have the same agenda that I did,
Yeah. And it's, there's so much to communicate to somebody else too. It's never going to come back to exactly the way that you want it.
Yeah.
It would take forever. So
yeah. I mean, at a certain point, you kind of make concessions to get things out on time and to hit deadlines better. But I feel like I'm at this point where I can make a whole statement and piece of art and for it to be what I want it to be, that involves me every step of the way.
Yeah.
Like even working with Kevin Knipstein, who's my color assistant, like sometimes he'll like do the first page in a scene, and then he'll send it to me, and then I will adjust the palette how I want it, and then he'll go back and do the rest of them following suit with that. But really, like, Chris Crank is the only person that touches the visuals, because he does the lettering. Like I kind of have final cut on everything, which is not going to make me live longer, but it makes me more proud of my work. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got a little bit of that in myself as well. And yeah, I see you still do these are the automatopoeia is on the page, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Always. Yeah.
So that does carry over.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's always a part of it. I really don't like digital sound effects. I think
I hate them.
They look terrible.
Do you have any idea how many jobs I've done lately where they ask me to not do the stuff on the page, and I'm like,
really?
that you're asking me to not be me at that point?
That's interesting, because they want to be able to edit it later, or
yes,
like have the translated version. I have a there were a lot of foreign editions to 8 Billion Genies, and there's one of them, and I think it's the version from Czechoslovakia, that they went in and photoshopped all my sound effects and made them, and like all the signage, the hand done signage, and they translated it all, and they did a really good job. It looks, it's really great.
Oh yeah.
I probably have that.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, I was shocked with like changing all the signs, and I don't think it's the French one.
That is really wild.
The French one, yeah. It was.
Those Europeans, man, they care.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is the
Pull you up.
Mighty Boys. This is the Czech version, I think. So like they wanted to pick the cover for issue 2 for some reason.
Okay.
Obviously they like made their own version of the
Yeah.
logo. But you can see in here, I don't know if you can see that, but like all of these are my handwritten signs that they translated. And like some dude like Photoshop stuff. There's even like little signs up there that they translated. Like somebody went through this and was like, "Where is all the handwritten text?"
Wow.
And they like photoshopped over my artwork, and they like had to make their own versions of these spreads for the world and stuff. Yeah, really fun, interesting stuff. Like have you ever had any of your stuff translated?
No, I have not.
Yeah, like this said like chomp or something, and then they just photoshopped it out and patched it and like took all the colors and made it say trampst.
Okay, so that's the version of chomp.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's cool.
Like I had these when I was a teacher, I had these Israeli students in my class, and they would say, "Okay, what does a chicken say?" And they would say "kukuriku." It's like, that's weird. It's really weird that we all have different onomatopoeia.
Here's a big one. This thing was called like Truckosaurus or Carnosaurus or something. I think Truckosaurus was
Truckosaurus is real, yeah.
Yeah, and then that is their sound effects, and then like all the signage, naughty lampy and stuff. Like that's all stuff they did. Like when you do a foreign edition, you just kind of give them the original files. And then then at some point in your life, hopefully you get a comp in the mail. And that's kind of it. Like there's no proofreading that I get to do or get to see how they designed the book or how they
you just take the check.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That's a trip. And if it was, I mean, that there, I guess I can understand why they would want to have the letters digital, because then they can just click it off and pop their own in.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But wow, the fact that they went through and actually did that is
they also did the curse words omnibus, which is called Kletba. But like they put like this spot gloss that actually has like it has like a texture to it. Yeah, these Mighty Boys is what they're called. They do an incredible job. I was super impressed by that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. So these two characters are basically you guys set up. Oh, and I love that the cat knocks off the action figure of
the Wizord.
Yeah, curse words. I love that so much.
Yeah.
Doesn't something like that happen in 8 Billion Genies too? Doesn't he show up in there somewhere?
Yeah, he's in like some of the superhero stuff in issue 4.
Yeah, okay. I love that you guys like bring your stuff back.
Always. And this we set this book in Chicago, which is where I live, and so it's just filled with Chicago references to Chicago bands and Chicago places, and it like everything is like I'm just gonna put all my favorite things in it, that I like going to and seeing in Chicago. So and that's been a real fun treat for me. And like Cam's apartment here is based on like my first apartment in Chicago, and then Star's apartment is based on my the condo that my wife and I bought many years ago. So it's filled with deep, like every page has pretty much every panel has some reference to something in my life. which makes it, fun for me, even when I'm drawing people just kind of hanging out, talking.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You keep it interesting for yourself.
Try to.
So these two main characters that we follow, they're being driven to rage for things, and he's about to freak out at one of his students because of their lazy chat GPT paper, and she's about to, her friend got a promotion and all this crap that, so she's going to throw yogurt in her car. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, she's green with envy, and he's
red
with
gotcha.
wrath, right?
Okay.
So they're being manipulated by two different sins there.
Yeah. So I love this spread. So you get them at their different locations, and we're introduced to Collar and Rake. Yeah. Where you guys getting the names for these demons?
I think that like Charles came up with those for those two, and I think it's a reference to like the C.S. Lewis, the screw head tape.
Oh yeah, the screw tape letters or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, right. I think that the devils in that have that kind of name, and so as we go through it, like every devil is kind of named after something slightly prickly or unpleasant.
Yeah. Isn't there like one in the next issue called like Corkscrew Onion or something like that?
Onion Screw, yeah.
Onion Screw, yeah. It's like, where did you get that?
Yeah, issue 4 introduces the new character Sandpaper Pinch.
Yeah.
He goes by Sandy Pinch. Yeah, so just like kind of uncomfortable, unpleasant adjectives and nouns.
Yeah. Your color rendering is just so beautiful. I don't even understand it. Nobody colors like you. Nothing looks like this.
Well, I can show it to you. I can show you how to do it. I kind of figured out over many, many years, I figured out a system that I can do quickly. And I think the 80% thing comes to coloring, because I'd leave a lot of rough edges and go outside the lines a lot. That like if it was a cover that I was working on, like a cover illustration, I would smooth those over and like render it a little bit more believably. But when you're working on interiors, I just kind of go and leave it, just because that's the way it is. So like, it's never going to be perfect, but it, as long as the form reads and the space reads, like the depth of space, and like the eye gets focused on the things that I want the eye to be focused on, then I feel like I've done my job.
Right.
I just move on.
Yeah, because you got this beautiful, like, reflective light on the sheets and stuff like that, and the beautiful rendering on the characters. But then you darken the background so much so that they stand out, and it's
there comes a point where you realize that there's especially in coloring comics, like there's realism and then there's what will help tell the story, and like I fully go for what will help tell the story at this point. Like like that is much more important to me.
Absolutely. Because it could get real chaotic and wild if you're going for realism 100% of the time.
It will, because you're dealing with separate smaller images on a single page, it would be a visual overload if everything is rendered just like a photograph would do it, right? Like having the ability to be like, well, I'm going to darken this background even though it doesn't make sense. Like the lights are still turned on there, it shouldn't be dark, but I'm going to darken it because it's contrasting too much and it's drawing too much attention and it's not important to what's happening in the story.
Right.
So like I do a lot of things like that, and it's just like where maybe I only use white as a highlight on the character that's the one that's talking and is supposed to draw your attention, just little things like that are like, I think are designed to not necessarily be noticed, but are designed to naturally help you read it more easily.
Yeah, that makes total sense. The big title sequence. So you got this chart on the side of the 9 circles of hell. Is there going to be 9 issues? Is that the plan?
Yeah, it's 9 issues. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just finished the Greed issue. Issue 4 is the Greed issue. And then I'm drawing the Wrath issue right now. And so, yeah, like the 8 Billion Genies was like a horizontal voyage through time.
Yeah.
This is a descent, so we're like doing the other axis, doing
Yeah,
the y-axis. Which is, a fun thing. Like, I always like those stories where things like evolve and build on each other to the point where, like, either character getting, in Curse Wars, it was a character becoming good. This is about these characters and they're increasingly, trying to fight off corruption from from hell and these devils on their shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. So these devils, each of these characters has a devil who has been manipulating their life, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of show them throughout life where they have been screwing with them. I really love these panels here where you have them crawling all over the panels.
Mm-hmm.
I love when people make use of the gutters to kind of take you out of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought, like, one of the ideas on 8 Billion Genies was that nothing breaks the panel in 8 Billion Genies except for things that are either genies or made by genie magic.
Yeah.
And that was so hard to do. And like there's a character that's secretly a genie the whole time, and he's the only one. Before he's a genie, like, he's breaking the panel borders.
Yeah.
So that was like my own internal hint that no one noticed or cared about. But so, like, with this one, I wanted them to be able to break the fourth wall in a way that would be really playful and silly and fun. And so they are climbing in and out of the panels. They do that throughout the series. The humans every once in a while do break the panels, but not very frequently. It's mainly the devils that kind of exist outside of their world.
Sure.
Just trying, because half the story takes place in hell. We haven't seen it in this issue yet, but half the story takes place in hell. And so I needed to do things to make hell feel different in every way. Like, if you flip to a page that took place in hell, you would know it the second you looked at the page, so that it was very clear from a storytelling standpoint, like, where it was taking place, because it was really this duality. Because we basically have the story of these humans who are getting messed with by these devils on their shoulder. And then when you go to hell, you see what the true intentions of the devils actually is.
Right.
So like that page right there, you see like them looking right out at the reader. They're coming out of the panel a little bit. And so, it's treating them like they have a superpower, like there is something that doesn't belong about them compared to the humans. And so then when they basically come to the humans and they say, we've been trying to make you bad your whole life. The reason why you have all these problems is because of us. And it's our job, because we're shoulder devils, and that's what shoulder devils do.
Right.
But we're gonna be on your side now, and we're gonna help you out. We're gonna shift course because we think you are just inherently good and there's no corrupting you. And so their plan is basically to increase their influence in the world by making them good, instead of increasing their influence by making them bad, which is what people try to do.
There's like the two ways that they can move up as devils, right? Is by making their person either really, really bad or giving them power, right?
Yeah, it's the evil that they do has spread, right? And they have to have more and more influence. And as the devils control people, that end up being, politicians or whatever, those devils become more and more powerful because the evil they're pumping into the human's ear, is affecting more of our world, and hell basically runs on the evil that humans do.
Right.
So this is where we first get into hell, and you see, I have these kind of wavy gutters.
Gutters there, yeah.
So all the horizontal gutters in hell have this fire shape to them, and that to me was my way of differentiating when you are in hell. And so, like, when you look at a page, you know exactly where it is because of that shape of the gutter being different. I thought maybe originally I would do like coloration differently, or a texture differently, but I ended up on Cursed Words. I did these W panels for Wizord, who is the main character.
Yeah.
And on 8 Billion Genies, I did these like 8-shaped semicircle cuts. And so then this one, I've got like this fiery one. So I don't know what I will figure out on the next one. But I found that, like, visually it made the comic more interesting when nothing was happening, if you didn't have straight lines everywhere.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm also like a real strict panel structure person in terms of my gutter width, and my border lines are always the same.
Yeah, unless there's a reason for it, right?
Unless there's a reason for it, because I don't want them to be a part of the story when they're not supposed to be.
Yep.
Like they're just it's just your letterbox on your widescreen movie. Like it's not affecting, unless you're using it to affect the story, and then of course you play around and go crazy.
Yeah, and then it makes it more effective when you finally do something like that.
Yeah.
Yep,
Totally.
I'm of the same school. These characters are just so much fun. So they're like the bottom of the bottom of the devils. They hate them. The other devils kind of hate them, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of punks, right? Like, and they they've been doing this for a long time with no success, and so they basically are revolting, and they realize that they can advance by making their people more influential, not by being evil, but by being good, which is something the devil has never done before.
Sure.
And so they're counter programming. They're going against what they're supposed to be doing, but their people, if they can make them good, they can make them more influential, and they can use their devil trickery to make them more influential as good people. And instead of pumping evil into the bowels of hell, is pumping good.
Right.
And so they're just total anarchists. They say, the system is rigged. It's a full anti-capitalism sentiment, and it's just like, let's tear it to the studs from below. So, but of course they're devils. I don't know if you can really trust what they're saying ever, and
right.
So we kind of have this situation in the book where the humans are lying to themselves to go along with the devils, thinking that like trusting that devils are going to do only good things for them, and then the two devils are lying to each other about what they're doing, but then the devils are also lying to their humans about what their motivations really are. So it's like a fun story to play with, like what is really happening, and versus what we're leading you to believe. So it continues to build and build and build as the series goes on.
Yeah. And they have this like weird halo that kind of shows up over their head too.
Yeah, because they're chosen ones.
Yeah. And then here you get a nice spread of what hell looks like, with these weird vehicle demonic creature things that people are riding in. And
yeah, I developed more and more as it goes on. I like the Flintstones idea, where technology is just enslaved creatures. And so
I love it, like a satanic Flintstones.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, that that woolly mammoth is just forever. His job in life is just to fill his trunk with water so you can like wash your car with it or something. Like, it's just It's terrible.
It's awful.
This
Yeah.
this creature lives under the sink because he's a garbage disposal, and that's his life, you know.
Ugh. Man. Well, that is just it's such a great concept, and I can't wait to get the rest of the story. And yeah, you and Charles definitely make a great team. You've been on a roll.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think we our strengths pair well, our sensibilities pair well, but I think we both are better at some things than other things, and I think that they complement well. Like I think whether you like our comics or not, I think they have their own feeling. I think they feel unique, you know.
They definitely do.
Which is something that I always strive for, you know. Like I never want to be this meets that, or you know, like, or oh, I love that comic so much, I'm gonna make it too, you know, like like, no, I'm gonna take tons of influences from all those things, and I'm gonna try and filter them through my brain and make something new with it. Even though like this is everything I do is so indebted to everything that came before me. I just want to try and mash it together in a way that can feel unique, you know.
But everything that's good that came before us is a mashup of things that came before it, you know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, that's how it works.
Yeah, and I want to maybe combine ideas in a way that isn't obvious, and
that's it. Yeah.
Figure out improv my way through the connections, you know. That's it's a big one for me. Like that's the fun. That's the fun of the invention, you know.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Well, maybe once this is done, we'll get to see Battle Beast's G.I. Joe influence weirdness.
Dude, I have a lot of really fun ideas about it. Like I think it would be like you know, it would be for all those 40-plus-year-olds out there.
I mean, that's who reads comics, so
yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, man. And this, I cannot wait for more of this book. You guys just do the best stuff. Isn't there an 8 Billion Genies like movie in the works too, or is that?
Yeah, it's you know, it's slow going as these things are. It's slow going until it's not.
Exactly.
You know, and so like the script is written, and it's written by Rodney Rothman, who wrote Into the Spider-Verse, and you know, he was 22 Jump Street, and he's like a comedic novelist, and he was the head writer for Letterman for a while, which is really cool.
Okay.
And then the production's being handled by Point Grey, which is Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg's company. You know, they did The Boys and Invincible, and the most recent Ninja Turtles movie, and The Studio on, you know, they did that.
That's a good track record.
Yeah, they make a lot of good stuff. They're very thoughtful and good, seemingly good-hearted people that have great ideas and know how to get things made. So
that's great.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic for it actually all coming together, and it will just be the type of thing where you know, once everyone is fully happy with the script, they'll probably start, you know, finding people to direct, and then it will just get greenlit and roll, you know, hopefully. Fingers crossed. So,
well, my fingers are crossed for you, man.
Yeah, it'd be something else.
So where do people find you on the webs?
I'm mostly on Instagram at Ryan Browne Art. Browne has an E on the end. You know, some on Blue Sky. But that's about it. I've started getting more into posting like videos of drawings and stuff on Instagram, which I don't engage in much of the public discourse. And I really am just a person, like, I want to be a person that is just here to entertain you with comics and art and stuff. And
exactly.
So if you want to talk to me about my politics, I mean, you could probably guess. Based on the stuff I make. But like,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, man, be good to each other. Don't be evil.
That's right. Awesome, man. Well, I will put links to all that stuff down in the show notes and stuff. But thank you so much again for coming on, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everything that you've done to help me along the way, and I appreciate your work to no end, and I just cannot wait to see more. So thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Bye. Join my Patreon to see my work before anyone else. Plus, score physical sketchbooks, mini comics, and commissions delivered right to your door. And reading my new books, Something Seems Off and Three-Headed Pigman, as they are made. Go to my website to order original art, commissions, and my books, Lost Angels, Spectral: A Showcase of Fear, Chaotic Neutral, and more. Gray Matter Drip, The Art of Chris Anderson, is available now from Cosmic Lion Productions. Here are the upcoming conventions I'll be at the time of this recording. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It helps spread the word. Thanks.